Hey Adam, how are you tonight, mate?
Not too bad, mate. It's been a good week so far. I've been enjoying it.
I believe it has, and I think somebody had a birthday the other day as well.
Yes, yes, I did. I clocked another year. I turned 38, so that was exciting. I haven't cracked 40 yet, so
You're a
so
baby, you're a baby.
I wasn't around when the original Star Wars was there. So but yeah, still very cool. Being 38, and my wife surprised me with some cool Star Wars stuff. I was actually quite shocked.
I saw that on Facebook. It looked like it was a really good birthday to me.
It was like I got to come home early from work, so I waited until the kids came home and everything, and then my wife had a pile of presents and started to hand them to me. And the first one I got to open actually was an old it was a double pack of the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi read along books with their original cassettes. So
Hmm.
I was listening to Star Wars a few weeks ago when I got a cassette player, and I think Ange sort of started to do a little bit of investigating of certain things.
Yeah,
So
nice.
it was really cool. So that was really great to get, and I went through the book and had a look with the kids and all that sort of stuff. So we haven't had a chance to sit down and play them yet. But I'd like to have to, turn the page when R2D2 beeps and all that sort of stuff. I remember as a kid having those sort of things,
Yeah.
and I'll be able to share that experience, I guess, with my own kids because they're like, "Oh, Dad, now we've got the books," because they knew I didn't have the book for the other cassette that I actually
Mm.
had. So that was actually quite a shock to see that, and I can remember many nights as a child going to sleep with those cassettes playing in my little Walkman that I had when I lived in a little two-bedroom apartment with my parents
Mm.
way back in the early '80s. So yeah, there was a tear welling up when I saw those cassettes. That's for sure.
Oh, excellent, mate. That's what it's all about, isn't it? It's just brilliant
Oh,
scoring that sort of stuff. Yeah,
no.
especially when it comes out of the all out of the blue.
Yeah, well, like I say, it was a shock, and then of course the shocks kept coming. There was a there was a vinyl record that I got, which was the story of Return of the Jedi, and this
Yeah,
this thing looks like it was bought yesterday in 1983. This thing was in immaculate condition.
yeah.
It had the book inside. I had never actually heard of these before.
Oh,
I
really?
like the read along books. There were a couple I had on cassette, the main three
Yeah,
films. I had a couple of the others were on vinyl. That I had the
yeah.
little tiny vinyls when I was little. But this one I'd never heard of before, and after I got the vinyl, I had to play and realized it was real dialogue and real sound effects, which
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
uh,
Oh, so that was the 12-inch Jedi one you said.
yeah, I was
Wow.
absolutely in shock. So I sort of had to have a crack at that straight away. So I put that
Yeah,
on and
for
I'm
sure.
listening to it, and I'm like going, this is a what? How come I never saw this or heard of it before? So, of course, as soon as you do, you go online and you're like, oh, there's Star Wars and there's Empire
Yeah,
and there's
I think I've got the Story of Star Wars one, which came
oh,
out. I think I got Christmas 1978, and I can remember, being all the dialogue and obviously the days before
of
being able to have
course.
movies at home. That was the only way to relive the film.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I was in shock because with the read along books, it's other people
Mm,
redoing the voices, and the
mm.
sound effects are the same, but but this is original dialogue and sound effects combined together.
Yep,
You have someone
yep,
doing the narration, but I was
yep.
actually quite surprised. But the beautiful booklet inside, like I say, it was in absolutely mint condition.
Mm.
And once again, I was like, oh my goodness! And then that the final package was probably the big thing for me. Um, there's a photo that sits on my corkboard just above my desk here of the only ever memories that were captured with me with Star Wars toys when I was little. So I've got
Mm.
three Polaroids. One has me standing next to a Christmas tree holding the die-cast Millennium Falcon, which I still own. It's in 2 bits, but I still have that. And I think it's Slave One. The other is of me sitting on the floor with the ATST, and it was one of those. I don't know if you remember the Micro Series toy line,
Oh, yes,
and
yeah.
it was the battle damaged Tie Fighter. And the last one is of me on my birthday Funnily enough, 33 years ago, sitting on a couch in that little apartment holding a speeder bike and the scout trooper on top of it.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And when I, of course, got older, a lot of those toys got misplaced or, of course, thrown out. We touched on that in another pod. I believe I mentioned that. And the speeder bike was a little significant piece in my life. It was probably one of my favorite toys that I ever had because you could explode it and broken the bits. So it was very action ready, and it was probably, like I say, it was the one thing I really tried to hold on to when I got older. But unfortunately, it was one of those things that just got lost or tossed. So of course, when I opened that last package, and here inside is, and I'm holding this up for the people who can see it on the video, but it looks like, once again, it was bought yesterday.
Wow.
The Return of the Jedi speeder bike. And it's a little different. It doesn't have the plastic clamshell inside. It's a cardboard insert.
Okay.
Which is, I believe, it was an Asian variant or a Taiwanese variant or something. I'm not too sure. But everything inside, absolute. Once again, the instructions were in there. They were a touch faded, but I actually smelt the instructions. I was like, oh, does it smell like my childhood? I'm like, this smells like my childhood. And
taken back in time. Yeah.
I did. I was like, oh, it smells like yesterday. And then, of course, I pulled it out, and this thing, once again, mint condition. Putting it together and going, my goodness, this is, once again, that's my childhood right there. And it's funny how I was reunited with something from 33 years ago that I never thought in any chance that I would ever see that. So there were a few tears when that one was open.
Oh, I'm sure there were. Is it the did it have this biker scout with it, that one, or was
no,
it just
it didn't.
No,
it didn't. No.
Okay.
And when
I know they did bring it out, I think, with the scout at some stage, but yeah, no, okay. Well, there's your next internet hunt.
Oh yeah, well, it's fun. I remember that birthday because I remember the box that, like, when I opened this, I was like, that's it. That's the box it comes in, and I remember getting the Scout Trooper separately because I remember when I unpacked it, I was like, where's the gun? And I'd left it in the bubble. And it had fallen on the floor, and we had to search for it through the carpet, but I managed to find it. So it was really cool to see that, and I was quite thankful, and of course the kids sort of didn't comprehend why I was probably so emotional, but at the same time, like, going, Daddy really loves Star Wars, does he? It's like, why
Daddy cries when he opens toys.
Oh, well, it does happen. And it's like, why is Daddy sniffing the paper? And it's like,
what's funny about that is going to school the next day.
Yeah, wow.
That's
like,
great.
Well,
hey, what used to crack me up about the that set was the speeder bikes. The scout the scout trooper, where his legs would stick straight out when he sat on the bike.
You just gotta look on the box, and the thing's like, it's like, what is he doing? And that's why I liked when they reissued it in those late '80s there, and when Keno came back out, and they put the pack together with the trooper, that his legs had the articulation that they go on the pedals, but once again, that was all fun of it, wasn't it? It's like, oh, well, look at me, no feet, I can pedal without it. And they're out like on angles of 45 degrees. It's like, dude, that's gonna hurt. Like, you're gonna clip a tree with those feet. But I always tried remembering I had the Logray figure, and I always tried to put him on the bike. And of course, the Ewoks never could sit on there because their little feet are just too small for it to balance on. So I would always try and reenact that scene, and I'd have my Luke and with the lightsaber, and you hit the battle damage thing on the back, so it would explode.
Yeah. I found the one I used to had after a while, the spring sort of went on the back, and so she'd just, I used to have a display in my bedroom, but back when I was still living, at home.
Yep.
And I think I was about 15 or something at the time, 16. And I had all figures and vehicles and that on this cupboard. And the spring would over time started getting very weak, and you'd be lying in bed in the middle of the night, all of a sudden you'd hear sprung, and the whole, and you wake up, what the hell was that? And you turn the light on, and there's pieces of speeder
Oh,
bikes
really?
all
Just
over the
displayed out
room.
everywhere.
Yeah. It was just it would just go
Uh,
depending on the temperature of the room or something. It was just really funny.
that is magic. That is
Yeah.
pure. But that's the thing. That's the joy, isn't it? Is how a simple toy can tie to those memories. But it was a beautiful thing to travel back to that moment, and then looking at that photo, I'm thinking, wow, 33 years ago, I got it brand new, and today it's come home. So
Yeah, definitely.
it was a great birthday. I was spoiled. I also got some Star Wars Lego. I got the Jewel of Naboo little set as well. Was
Yeah, I noticed you put that together pretty quickly.
Yeah, it took me about 22, 25 minutes. I
Yeah.
blistered through that thing. I sat down in front of the TV because I got to come home early, and I put Empire Strikes Back on, and
Yeah.
and then I thought, oh, well, which Lego set will I put together? So I put the Jewel of Naboo together first because I got the ATST from Rogue One, so I haven't touched that yet. And and I was just sitting there, and I was just pure concentration. And like each child would come up and go, "Daddy, can we play?" I said, "I'm not finished yet. Just let me finish the set, and then we can play. It's just I gotta finish it. I gotta finish it." And I'm just putting it together, and I was like, "Oh wow, we haven't even got to the Battle of Hoth yet, and I'm done. Wow, that was fast.
Yeah,
I did that
yeah.
lightning quick." But it's a cool little set, actually. It's very cool. The minifigs are fantastically done. Nice, solid. It's a little weird now that when you see Jedi minifigs that their outfits, like all the capes, are painted on. They don't have some of them have the fabric and some of them don't.
Okay.
But no, it's cool. The Darth Maul figure's got is very cool. But yeah, nice little set, and there's some nice little motors there for the laser beams that open and close. I'm really liking this line that Lego are doing with the little scenes from the films. I know there's the Darth Vader transformation one coming up later this year.
Oh, really?
That-
Oh,
that-
that'd be cool.
yeah, they released like a very small version of that when Revenge of the Sith came out. I know because I own it. It's in pieces though, in 1,000 Lego pieces. But I own that set. But they've expanded this to make it larger. But it's like having a little piece of each movie because I've got the carbon freezing chamber set. They've done this. They've got the Darth Vader transformation one, and they're starting to do these little set pieces and the medium sized ones like the Battle of Scarif, and of course Unplot's Shaq from Force Awakens. Simon Pegg.
Okay.
Let's just say Simon Pegg Shaq because I can never pronounce his name.
Was it
Unka Plot.
Unka Plot or something?
Unka Plot. Yeah, the big guy, the grumpy guy.
Yeah, the full-drawn portion. That one. Yeah.
60 portions.
60 portions.
I didn't pay 60 portions for that set, mate. I'll just tell you now. But yeah, look, it was really nice. I got terribly spoiled. And it was a pure Star Wars day, and yeah, man, I'm very, very lucky, man.
They're the best days, mate.
They always
and you got to share it with the family, and
I did.
yeah, fantastic.